I think I just found my new Pink Ranger. Welcome, salutations. On PRLG 2014 with your host Anthony Mars Jr. with a new edition of the Terra Venture podcast, bringing you podcast episode 133, presented by my self-devoted fan page on Facebook and onwards. This is not going to look right here. Today is the big. So this is here's another fan casting announcement for my next Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film, and I stumbled across a few actresses that I wanted to be my next Pink Galaxy Ranger, and I thought about, and I came to a decision that for PRLG, you know what, Rise of what's her name for the sequel, I wanted to follow a footstep that happened on the show, but do it off screen for the beginning of the new film this time instead of doing it actually on screen. Because we know the issue about what happened on the show with Kendricks and her demise as the Pink Ranger in the Power of Pink and the team up between the Space and Galaxy Rangers. The character of Gwen McQueen, the Pink Ranger that I had in the first Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film, and as well as from my fan film pilot entitled The Rise of Shrekina from back when, I've had Gwen's character for about 5 years in the Pink Ranger slot in my fan film series. And the actress that I had currently for the role, in terms of likeness and inspiration for that character, Katie Cassidy, unfortunately, as of effectively January 2015, but even a few months, years before I would start on the sequel, her likeness for Gwen as the Pink Ranger has been dropped. Yes, I am officially dropping Katie Cassidy's likeness for my Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film series for the Pink Ranger. And the problem is, if you guys came back watching Arrow's season 3 return, bear with me on this, that this podcast was previously recorded weeks before the return of that show, and following Laurel Lance's beginning of being the Black Canary. And after seeing earlier press photos of Katie Cassidy as the new Black Canary for Arrow season 3, I said to myself, I'm starting to go through exactly how I dealt with what's his name, who used to be Spider-Man, and I said, well, if he was Spider-Man for 3 movies, I can't have him being seen as a Power Ranger and something in another thing. So no. And I also said to myself, I can't see, if she's the Black Canary, well, even though it's part of her contract on Arrow, and knowing I'm not even working with Katie Cassidy, I never even met her in person, and I have never worked on a movie with her or anything. No, I don't even have a job as an actor or a director or whatever, producer. I've been telling you this since the beginning of this channel on the fan films and what my premise is on doing these movies, that whatever photos of celebrities that I want to pick for the Rangers and the villains based on these Power Rangers for these roles in my films, I just Google search photos, headshots of those celebrities, print them out, and paste their faces to the puppets. Although, when I did my fan film pilot of the film, I had people work on it. But nowadays, myself, 24/7, because nobody wants to do the film with me. And another problem why I dropped Cassidy is because knowing Arrow, her character of Laurel Lance for 2.5 going on 3 seasons. She was originally a recurring character, but they decided to give her a storyline to make her become the Black Canary. If you remember seeing her sister Sarah get killed off in the final scene of the season premiere of the 3rd season, The Climb, that invoked her to become the new Black Canary, passing the torch likewise. So I had to drop Katie Cassidy's likeness for the remainder of the films, and also Gwen's character. Well, to be honest though, Gwen's character, if you may not realize this or not, but to be honest though, if you've seen the fan film already and seen how Gwen's character was, well, although I had to pre-emulate her character and wrote some lines for her. To be honest though, Gwen's character didn't even barely do anything in the first film, even as the Pink Ranger. The reason why I had struggles with Gwen's character with the likeness of Katie Cassidy. I mean, the problem is seeing her on Arrow and using her likeness on something else, that won't work. Just like how I was when, if you remember back in this past decade ago when Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man, and I wanted him in my mind to be a Power Ranger. And I said, well, if he was Spider-Man, I can't see Tobey as a Power Ranger. Well, actually, nobody wants to see. How idiotic would it be to see Tobey Maguire as a Power Ranger, and knowing that people like him as Spider-Man. Not only that, for those that don't like Tobey Maguire, and every time when you hear Tobey play Peter Parker act like a crybaby wuss, whining about Mary Jane and crying all the time. Nobody wants to see him sound like a Power Ranger. No, he will sound like a crybaby if he was a Power Ranger, especially if he was the red one, because the Red Ranger would never be a wuss. Unless if you want to be like Mac from Operation Overdrive type or Troy from Megaforce, then yeah, you can get that gist. But the Pink Ranger, in the Pink Ranger position of my fan film series, Gwen just never worked out. And I decided to drop her. And I will also discuss that sometime when I do a video discussing the script, if I do get another printer cartridge to print out the new script, the newly drafted the script for Power Rangers Lost Galaxy 2, and I'll go ahead and talk about who's the new Pink Ranger. But I want to officially announce who is the new Pink Ranger and who's the character behind that behind the position, behind the Pink Ranger slot. Now, the character that I created is not. The new Pink Ranger that I created is not like Gwen's character. Well, when I originally established Gwen's character, I wanted her. If you remember, I originally based her and her likeness and inspiration from Daphne. If you remember her from her TNA WCW days, and I wanted to base her on Daphne / Shannon Sprill when she was in TNA until she was released from the company 3 years ago, and then later on was a random normal individual who did some videos on YouTube but does it less frequently. I'm not going to speak her name. She was the Christopher Nolan-inspired iteration of Harley Quinn, if you remember. Actually, I'll give you the link to who I was referring to, which I've been trying to get everybody to know, who is barely worth noticing. Then it was Katie Cassidy, although, issues, in conjunction of trying to imagine her in something like this in my mind in a fan series, and instead of when knowing that she's on contract with Arrow, she joined the show since day one. She'll join it through it until, depending on how many seasons that show will go on. So instead, for 5 years, I have struggled to find a way to come up with Gwen's character. Originally, Gwen's character was this grungy, gothic-looking, punk goth girl kind of character with a very negative sense of attitude, pretty much akin to Raven from Teen Titans, in a way. But when I decided to switch Daphne out for someone else, I wanted her to be a more clean, sophisticated, conservative kind of character who doesn't wear all that gothic black magic kind of makeup and stuff on her face. No, that's something that a Pink Ranger or a Yellow Ranger wouldn't look like in Power Rangers. Because knowing all the female Power Rangers, yellow and pink, and sometimes if you don't have a Pink Ranger in the team, a female blue. Usually, most of the female Power Rangers always come looking clean and don't wear makeup, always look all covered up and dressed up very conservatively. But the way how I did my Pink Ranger in my fan film series of Power Rangers and fan fiction series in general, I don't know why I made the Pink Ranger act all negative and pessimistic and goth-like. That should have been something for the Yellow Ranger. No, either way around, but that's just wrong. Pure wrong. So the Pink Ranger that I have now, since since I've already ditched Katie Cassidy's likeness, and I've also deleted all the photos of Katie Cassidy I Googled up from on off my flash drive, and just removed her likeness, removed all of her photos off my flash drives completely. So the actress that I picked this time, if you remember hearing about my a fan casting announcement of using the likeness of Maggie Siff for Trakina last time, this time is this particular actress. We know who this actress is, and I think you guys probably know who she is as well. She is most prominently known for being the mother on How I Met Your Mother, and was also Zelda on the short-lived NBC show A to Z. And yes, for my next 2 or so Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan films, for the sequels, for the new Pink Ranger that I came up with, I decided to use the likeness of my current new celebrity crush, Cristin Milioti, as my new Pink Ranger. Yeah, you guys can, I don't know how you're going to react to this, but I said only her likeness, fan casting, get it. She's not really going to be in the thing, the real thing, okay? I never met her neither. Not even not even a lot of celebrities that I hear about, or never, and knowing that I never met them in real life, and so forth. I think ever since seeing her on How I Met Your Mother and A to Z, I just started to become attached to Cristin. Every time I say Cristin, it's like I'm about to say Christina. It's the same thing. Cristin Milioti. Every time I think about her or her face, I just started to become very fixated. I shouldn't be. I have to, realize that I shouldn't be when we have celebrities, and celebrities has been around for as long as we can remember, and even since the inception of Hollywood and all film and television, and when there's a celebrity that is even as a female celebrity, if you're a guy that likes a female celebrity, you always have the hots for that person because we are attracted to women. Well, I'm not going to say toward those who are, but I've always had this interest in Cristin because she's kind of, I'm nervous. I'm real nervous following the fan casting, who's going to be my new Pink Ranger. I could have made Cristin Milioti the Yellow Ranger, or someone who's one of the staff members of Terra for my next films, or I don't know. Because now, if I swap out Maggie Siff from being my fan casting choice for Trakina, I would, or if I put Cristin Milioti in Trakina's a slot and someone else in the Pink Ranger slot, how would that look? But I decided to put the likeness of I hate saying Christina every time I try to say it. Cristin likeness for the Pink Ranger that I have established, and also the Pink Ranger, the new Pink Ranger's name for my next 2 Power Rangers Lost Galaxy films, and as well as for the remainder of my fan film series, is Siri McBride. That's the name of the new Pink Ranger. And Siri, now, believe it or not, how I came up with the name Siri. Well, although the name Siri is already established from, the personal voice assistant on your Android devices, iPhones, Android tablets, and such, Samsung Galaxy phones, iPhone 3, iPhone 4, iPhone whatever, and yeah, I think what made me want to come up with the Pink Ranger name Siri was the name of the personal voice assistant on your Android, phone device. And suppose if Siri, if she was a Power Ranger, was a Android phone, and an Android phone was a robot hologram of a Power Ranger, and but although she has the voice of a smooth, seductive, female voice on a phone that talks to you and is your electronic assistant. I guess I'm quoting from Uncle Ruckus on that episode of the Boondocks, I Dream of Siri, season 4. And from that episode of the Boondocks, when Uncle Ruckus made a description of what Siri is like when when Siri was stalking and harassing Robert Freeman. Remember that episode from last year in the final season of the Boondocks? That episode where Robert Freeman had that iPhone, that he wanted an iPhone, and Siri was in it, and yeah, that episode. And that's how I got and also when I was looking at other people's, and when I've seen commercials of iPhones with Siri on them, that's when I wanted to come up with a female Power Ranger named Siri. Now, suppose if Siri was a robot ranger or something, or a hologram ranger, something like that, then that would be something as Power Rangers homage to an iPhone, in a way. And also, if you think back to, let's say, ToQger, the ToQgers have a mobile device that may look like an iPhone attached to their belt buckles, on the back of their straps or somewhere on their suits, or when they're unmorphed, not in the ToQger modes, then you'll know something. Because I was thinking about when I was watching ToQger last year, and when I was seeing some of the ToQgers pull out those phones, not those Russia, the Tokyo changer, Russia changer thingies on their wrists. And when I look at the ToQgers phones, it looks like an iPhone. And suppose if the ToQgers contacted Siri on the iPhone, on their somewhat iPhones. I know, I started to become attached with Cristin Milioti and another thing, Siri on an iPhone device. When knowing I do not own an iPhone, but I wish I did. But as much as people can find the iPhone thing a bit annoying with Siri, and find people talking to Siri all day annoying, but suppose if Siri was a real person, but knowingly, in actuality and reality, Siri is not real. Just saying. And even how I also came up, and also when I looked up the name Siri, there was also a porn star whose name was Siri. I'm not going to pull up images of the person named Siri who does porn, because it's according to YouTube's community guidelines. If I post anything pornographic on here in video form, the video will be taken down, and my YouTube account will be taken down severely, because it violates terms of use in YouTube's community guidelines. So I just rather make that as a certain reference. But the Pink Ranger that I created named Siri isn't a porn star or an assistant vocal app on your iPhones or any device, Android device or anything. This Siri is a human being. Now I had some changes in terms of her character development. As I do early development on her character, if I would create a Pink Ranger who is an alien being who has the human embodiment of a human. I've seen a couple of female characters in sci-fi shows, like obviously the most popular sci-fi franchise with characters like that, Star Trek. And I've seen a couple of Star Trek, episodes with female characters. In some episodes, let's say in the original show, or the Next Generation, or Enterprise, although I've never seen the Enterprise show, but I've only seen snippets of it, where you had female characters who, in Star Trek, who were, even if they're guest characters from a certain distant area of the galaxy, were alien beings, or somewhat android beings. Or if I made Siri a robot ranger, like, look at the robot rangers from Turbo, or Mac from Operation Overdrive. Suppose if I made my Pink Ranger in the series a robot. No. Or make her as a hologram. No, that won't work neither. What way could I make? Something to make it more interesting, to make my version of Lost Galaxy great. If Maya in the original series, the Yellow Ranger, if Maya is from the alien jungle planet of Miranoi, what if I made my Pink Ranger although not to make her as bland and tedious and bizarre like Maya's character or anything, but what if I made my version, what if I made my Pink Galaxy Ranger like, I don't want to rip off I don't want to rip off any of the existing Pink Rangers. I need to come up with my own version. I need to come up with my own. I don't want to make Siri, when I do establish her character and present her for the first time, although using the likeness of Cristin Milioti, make her more of a Kimberly type character, or make her like a Cassie kind of character, or a Jen type character, or Mia type. I don't know, because I really don't want to go with that route. I want to make my Rangers and my fan fiction series of Power Rangers more similar, or just similar, but bear no connection to the real Rangers that possess these powers. But I feel to me that I'm violating continuity rights to Power Rangers about, swapping out who had the powers in the actual series and then putting characters you made up to be the Power Rangers. I'll talk about, but that topic is for another day. And I'm not going to tell you what that controversial title will be for that future podcast in the foreseeable future, but I'll let you know. And I thought about this person, and I thought, looking at how, well, you guys can say she looks like a dude, but she's actually all woman and all. But actually, the first time I ever saw Cristin Milioti, after watching the final season of How I Met Your Mother, when I first saw Kristin's face, what got to me was me seeing vibes of, everybody says that Cristin Milioti looks like a hybrid of Allison Hannigan and Jennifer Love Hewitt in one person. But it seems to me it's like she has the similar face shape of Allison Hannigan, but the dark hair color of Jennifer Love Hewitt. And that is like, and I said, that looks weird. She looks like Jennifer Love Hewitt. If I go around in public to or in the future, if I saw her and other celebrities, and I say, Cristin, you look very familiar. You look like Jennifer Love Hewitt. Actually, some person would probably say it too, but actually, maybe too many people are probably going to say, this girl looks like Jennifer Love Hewitt, but more like she got Jennifer Love's hair color of jet black with a similar facial style of Allison Hannigan. But don't compliment about Kristin's teeth. Really, don't even think about it. Yeah, she has wide smiles and all, but just don't criticize her for that. Really don't. And even her silky white and her silky. Not to be racist here. Her silky colored skin. Wow, that is real gorgeous. She looks like a vanilla ice cone. A vanilla ice cream on a cone in that color. I also dig Italian girls too, Italian women. And, why do you think I had a crush on Lady Gaga until I gave her up? Because people just didn't like Lady Gaga because her music sucked. And also, not like that, when I look at Cristin Milioti, other than seeing her in the vibe of Jennifer Love Hewitt and Allison Hannigan, half of the time I can see a split image of Lady Gaga somewhere in her a little bit, and somewhat of Carol Burnett in a way. If you don't know for those who are probably sitting barely even watching this video, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know who I'm talking about, you're looking at the photo of the person right there. If you don't even know who Cristin Milioti is, I suggest you I suggest you should go out and watch the final season of How I Met Your Mother, because she had a one bit in the season 8 finale episode, and then it came on the show's final season as a series regular until the show ended. And then also, if you have not seen A to Z, oh yeah, that's right, the show's canceled. Sorry about that. I suggest you should look at How I Met Your Mother final season again, and yeah. And even she was in that movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, The Wolf of Wall Street, that overrated film from 2013, I think. 2013. And even she had a bit. Even she had a episode appearance on an episode of the 5th season of 30 Rock. And then also, not only that though, what surprised me is that she is a native from New Jersey, and also from her complexion of her face though, what made me want to cast her. I mean, not cast her. I mean, fan cast her and think about who are my actor choices for the Rangers. She seems to be from Italian descent a little bit. Italian with Greek and something like that. Someone from New Jersey. I love women from New Jersey and girls from New Jersey individually too. Although I never met one from New Jersey, but I would like to. I'm really, I think I should let go of Katie Cassidy and move on with this chick. Because I've been doing this for so many years with these Power Rangers Lost Galaxy films that I've been trying to make, and with one already completed, and others were prior to the 2014 film Shafted, and with Rise of Trakina being reworked again, but in a slower, and take some slow time on it. I think Siri's character should work better than Gwen, because Gwen's character, when I originally established her for about 5 years and tried to see where I can come with her, but nothing worked. I mean, this is the thing when you have a character that isn't working out, or if it's a character that nobody cared about, you can just write her off or kill her off, on screen or off screen, either direction, and then bring in someone new into the pack and see if people will be invested with that character. If that character doesn't work out, kill her off or write her off and write off about her, do a send off, to as an excuse of the character not coming back anymore, and then bring in another, female character. Just like how they did in Pokemon. When after Misty has been after when Misty was with Ash and Brock for a couple of years, actually for the longest time as I remember, because knowing Misty, she's one of the most popular female characters in Pokemon, who is one of the top 3 Pokemon trainers of the original 3 lineup with Ash and Brock. And then when they took Misty out of the picture, they put in May and her brother Max in there. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry for me talking about Pokemon, but I'm not a fan of Pokemon. But I know what went on when I remember watching Pokemon when I was a kid, but I never bought any video games, trading cards, blah blah blah. But you got me. Okay, I think I just got myself talking about Pokemon. And then when they took May and Max out, actually excluding Max, May, they brought in Dawn for the Diamond and Pearl series. I think that was Diamond and Pearl era of the series. And then when Dawn left, they brought in whoever this new chick is, for the Black and White era of the series. So yeah. That's what I've been doing for my pink. Well, Power Rangers have done that subsequently, mainly during the Zordon era, and even during Lost Galaxy when they, despite Kendricks getting killed off, Carone comes in as the Pink Ranger, when knowing a lot of fans wanted Cassie to be the Pink Ranger for the Galaxy team, and and honor Kendricks' death, but no, they decided Carone instead. And that's what I'm doing in the steps. But instead of killing, Gwen, as I wrote a couple of, pages for the new script, I did somehow kill Gwen. I did somehow kill Gwen's character off. Okay, there's a spoiler. I spoiled that bit for you. That I think I have to follow a footstep from Lost Galaxy for my fan film series of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, that the Pink Ranger does die and another one comes in. Somewhat of a passing the torch, but off screen, where actually a posthumous passing the torch, where the Pink Ranger who was in the team in the beginning gets killed off midway through, and then another one would come in midway through until it's over. okay, at least I kept something that was close to the source material, but do it in an alternate dimension. And I'm not going to keep reminding you about the, my fan films of PRLG being in a alternate reality from the actual series, and it's not in the same world as it is. Because if it was, if Tony, Brown, Will, Miranda, and in between two Pink Rangers, Gwen and Siri were the Galaxy Rangers in the actual series, that would really that would violate the continuity of who were the Rangers in Lost Galaxy, like Leo and Maya and etc. Because that would be considered violating Lost Galaxy and dishonoring Lost Galaxy and dishonoring who were the Rangers that had the powers. Now I can see if Saban created the Rangers that I established, like Tony is the Red Galaxy Ranger. Well, back then and all, but no. I didn't exist into the Power Rangers fandom until 2010, 2011, 2012, and onwards. So I was just saying that. And that's also another piece of information I will discuss another day. Unfortunately, I don't have any information on Siri, but I just want to announce who is the new Pink Ranger for Power Rangers Lost Galaxy 2 and 3. Because I think I'm going to have to, I'll talk about what I have in store for the sequels coming soon, very soon, but I need to be on vacation from this fan film stuff for the whole year of 2015. Then after the new Power Rangers movie come out in 2016, the Mighty Morphin reboot. And after when that comes out, I'll get back into the fan film stuff, but take it slow. Just take it at a slow pace this time. But and then, well, what I was thinking about in terms of the character's personality and the way how, now Siri's character, I feel that she should, well, I'll discuss it when I have the character descriptions for the sequel in a future video if I do get the chance. And well, if Cristin turns 30 this year, does this mean I got to make the Pink Ranger a 30-year-old? Because knowing most Power Rangers in each team, most of the Rangers, based on the actors that came in, every team is rotated in and out every season. Every Power Ranger in each season, except for, like, let's say Lightspeed and Time Force and every Ranger team was always teenagers. What if we had Power Rangers that were in their late 20s, early 30s? But the team of Rangers that I have like two Rangers that are in their 40s or so. One Ranger is in his or her mid 30s, and one Ranger is about to turn 40. And the problem about my team of Rangers is that, do you really want to see a team of Power Rangers that consists of adults who have a midlife crisis, though not married or anything? No, nobody wants to see that. They want to see, well, it's a way of doing a more mature version of a Power Ranger season. If the Power Rangers are full-on adults that are not teenagers anymore, that might work for a mature adult perspective. But if you have grown-ass adults who are actors in their 30s or 40s playing teenagers who are in their late teens, like 18, 19, 20, 21, that is creepy. So I need to have them based on who the actors are and how old the actors are in actuality, and make the I don't want to make the characters to be like the actors. I want the actors to experience I don't know these people in real person, but I hear about them a lot and have pictures of them. But have the characters be similar to the actors, and what those people are about. So, and Siri is one of those characters. It's like, suppose if I made Siri based on Cristin Milioti, just because I'm using her likeness for the character, and if Siri was from New Jersey, if Cristin Milioti is from New Jersey, Siri would come from New Jersey and go on the shuttle to get the Terra Venture. Or if Cristin Milioti is an actress, what if Siri is a different profession, like a film writer or something? Or and the occupation she has in terms of acting and all, that wouldn't really qualify her for a Power Ranger. it has to. I mean, Power Rangers always had. Every team always had a team of Rangers of a certain occupation. Well, in most teams, like, you know, Operation Overdrive, Lightspeed Rescue, and such, they have certain occupations that isn't like in the arts and well, actually, Operation Overdrive, there is one Ranger that was in the acting um, business, Dax, the Blue Overdrive Ranger. And, well, to be honest, though, Dax was one of the worst Blue Rangers I have ever seen. I don't want, I bet once when I do introduce Siri, I hope I don't make Siri come off like Dax from Operation Overdrive, but in the Pink Ranger slot. Now, I can see if I made Siri like, let's say, Rose, who was one, I think was at least my favorite Pink Ranger from Overdrive in the Pink Ranger position. Suppose if I made Siri like Rose. She would be very intelligent. Because even when I look at Cristin Milioti's acting, even from when I've seen her on A to Z as Zelda, Zelda was very intelligent and conservative and, well, although snarky a little bit and very overimposing and very bossy. Maybe I can make Siri as a cross between Jen and Rose, in a way. But I don't want to make her like none of the Pink Rangers from the Neo Saban era, like Mia, Emma, and Shelby. I don't want to make her like any of the following three Pink Rangers, but I intend not to. However, again, I will still once when I do print out the new draft and the character descriptions for Power Rangers Let's Galaxy 2, I will tell you everything about what the characters are going to be for the sequel, and also describe a couple of details what the sequel is going to be about. But you guys are aware of the title already. But you guys have already just heard about who is my new Pink Ranger. But although I don't want to go with Leo's team again, like I said, since when I did the first movie and started this channel and onwards, but I wanted to come up with my own team of Rangers and make them unique and different, a lot different from Leo and his team. And that's what I'm going to continue to do until the trilogy is over. And maybe when my main trilogy is over, then I'll probably do another trilogy featuring Leo and his team of what they've been doing after their time as Galaxy Rangers in their actual dimension in their actual series. I'm at a point now where I'm getting tired of Lost Galaxy, and I'm tired of doing videos of these Power Rangers over and over. Although I'm passionate about the team and Ranger series, but I'm starting to be at a state where I'm getting tired of Lost Galaxy. I rather prefer another season of Power Rangers, like Lightspeed, since this year marks the 15th anniversary of Lightspeed Rescue, and 10 years of SPD. So what do you guys think of this fan casting announcement of Siri McBride, who is my new Pink Ranger? So Gwen McQueen, rest in peace. Katie Cassidy, in my mind, you're fired. So be sure to drop a like and tell me what you think about my fan casting consideration. If you think Cristin Milioti doesn't fit, I mean, if you guys think of me casting an actress who is in their 20s or early 20s to be my Pink Ranger, or if I have to recast, rethink my casting choices of the Power Rangers to be in their 20s instead of actors in their 30s and 40s that are old enough to be their mentors or villains, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. And tell me what you think of Cristin Milioti in general. So this is Anthony Mars Jr. on PR Lost Galaxy 2014, logging off. Be sure to subscribe, comment, drop a like, and let me know what you guys think later on. And I'll see you guys right back here next time in my discussion here on Terra Ventures Conference Hall. Actually, I was somewhere here in the Astro Megaship doing this, so my discussion here on the Megaship, although on Terra Venture, is now over. Thank you and good night.